Scott Welch, Muscle Insider Magazine. We are doing a live supplement review with Supplement Source CEO Dan Kennedy for Allmax's Muscle EAA. So this is boom, as Mark Lobliner would say.
Exactly. Hold on.
Look at this.
We got to do the little pop a little bit there too, right?
Make the pecs.
I like it. I like it.
Dance. Exactly. Speaking of which, did you see the size of this shaker, man? This is like the biggest shaker I've ever seen. This is
nice, eh?
And well, we're going to get into that. So listen, we've got a review, Muscle EAA. What is your initial feelings once you got this? Obviously, you see everything in the industry coming across the SupplementSource.ca website. But what did you think when you first saw the formula?
Formula is great. It was one of those things like Allmax has come to the market now with an EAA product, and we liked it because we were asking for one for a while. Well, not that long because EAAs are relatively new. But I just like supporting Allmax, and they came out with a great formula. They just really hit it out of the ballpark with that one. Yeah,
I can't. I mean, you said it best. The EAAs are relatively new, especially in Canada. BCA market really dominates it. And a lot of these people have sort of said, you know what, can't I just take BCAAs if I'm taking EAAs, or should I replace my BCA with an EAA? So we're going to get into a bit of that today. But I just want to get into first for some of the people out there exactly what EAAs are. For those of you who are not as familiar with EAAs, you have 20 amino acids that make up all of the amino acids in your body. Now, amino acids make up your hair. In my case, I don't have any, but Dan's case, he has some. Your skin, your muscle tissue, eyeballs, every cell, your enzymes, you make hormones, neurotransmitters. Everything is made from amino acids that way. And you have 20 different amino acids that your body needs. Now, out of that, you actually have 9 that your body cannot make. And those are called essential amino acids. And then you have another group of what are called conditionally essential amino acids. And those are during extreme cases of trauma, extreme dieting, perhaps, extreme overtraining, or just conditions where your body cannot manufacture these themselves. Those are non-conditionally essential. So those are conditionally essential. And then there's non-essential, which your body can just make freely. So we're most interested now in the essential amino acids, those 9 that are there. So have I left out anything on there that you can think of with the basics of the 20 amino acids and then the 9 that make up the EAAs?
No, I think you got it right down.
Okay. Now, the ones that out of those 9, 3 of those are branched chain amino acids, Leucine, Isoleucine, Valine. We all know leucine is has gotten a lot of publicity over the years, probably considered to be the most important, but the BCAAs are 3 of the 6. But out of that, you also have histidine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, and tryptophan, which is often very high in turkey, makes you feel tired if you have too much of it on its own. But anyways, going on to now, there's a sort of some stuff all over YouTube, which obviously this video is going to be on YouTube, about all muscle building stops when you're missing one of those amino acids. Now, that is partially true at a cellular level. Your body needs to have all of the different amino acids that it needs to construct new tissues. And if you're missing one of those, then in the ribosomes inside your cells, those, where the machinery is that's making protein tissues like muscles, you are going to halt that. But obviously, taking products like this, eating complete amino acid profile protein powders like Isoflex from Allmax and some other great companies make, then you're obviously going to get those essential amino acids. But the important thing is that to maximize recovery, you never want to have any deficiencies in any of those 9 amino acids, because that's just going to foster better recovery, faster muscle building, etc., which we'll get into. So now, going through this, Dan, can you take the fans through exactly when you would use a product like Muscle EAA? What are the best times?
Well, I think a lot of guys in the past have used branched chain amino acids as an intra workout. And what we're seeing now, just through coaches and what we're hearing from our customers, is that's basically a thing of the past. Most of the guys are moving more to EAAs during their workouts. So like put the BCAAs down. Because let's face it, when you look at the formula for the EAAs, the BCAAs are in the EAAs.
That's right.
So that's kind of the thing that a lot of people just don't understand. So why not grab the BCAAs and then have a little bit extra, which is what the EAAs provide. The MusclEAA has got a great formula. The taste is phenomenal. And it's not an overpowering taste or like a sticky type of taste. So it's ideal for intra-workout. So, normally in the past, if you had a really sicky one, you'd have to add more and more and more water to it just to water it down. But I find with the recommended 500 mils in one scoop, you get a good consistency and it's not overwhelming in the gym.
Now, let's talk about non-training days, because obviously you've seen it. Milo Sarcev sort of started that whole load up your body with essential amino acids during training. John Meadows was a big proponent of EAAs intramuscularly, or intra-workout, sorry. What is your experience as obviously a coach out there? What are you looking at in terms of EAAs on training days versus non-training days?
I am a big believer in what Milos brought to the market, years ago. I think he was probably the first one to come out with the aminos during the workout, or at least to really publicize it. And of course, John Meadows, everyone knows, his reputation in the industry is second to none. EAAs, definitely during workouts. For non-workout days, I personally would take them, and what our customers are telling us at SupplementSource.ca, they're telling us they take them first thing in the morning on non-training days. If you were going to do cardio on those days, or any day, it's another good add-on too. So pre-cardio, you may want to add some essential amino acids into the mix there, and just take it before, sip on it during your cardio session. But definitely when you get up in the morning on your non-training days is when I would take mine.
And the reason for that is because when you fasted all night, you haven't eaten anything, your amino acid levels are going to be lower in the morning, and something like a whey isolate is going to take between 1 to 3 hours to digest, depending on the level of hydrolyzation. Obviously, that has happened within the product. I hope hydrolyzation, that sounded pretty good, but basically the process.
We're using big words now.
I know. It's like space level. Anyways, the degree of hydrolysis that is in the protein will determine how fast those amino acids are digested, because the hydrolyzing of a protein actually breaks apart off these amino acids. So first thing in the morning, great time. You may not have an appetite for taking that first thing in the morning, but hey, you know what? You can't eat for taste. You got to eat for performance when it comes to the gains, right?
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? It's not that heavy on you. So if you're one of those guys that is not a morning or breakfast person, I find it's not a big deal to sip on, the MusclEAA in the morning just to kind of get your system going. I did want to bring up another point too. Ideal for me and other guys too in a situation similar to mine. I recently tore my quad, and I'm just recovering now, so I'm about 10 weeks into it. So what I do every day is I basically just sip on it throughout the whole day, just to ensure I've got that constant supply of essential amino acids. So I think it's been a help, because it does seem to be a little bit different than when I tore my rotator cuff. Mm-hmm. The recovery seems to be a little bit better. The way that I kind of do it, it's just a little bit different. I actually use one of those carbonation products. So the one that I use is called DrinkMate. But I'm sure everyone else has seen, what's that one called that Canadian Tire sells it? You add the carbonation to the water, okay, and it makes it like a sparkling fizzy drink. That's how I take mine. The reason why I use DrinkMate is I'll mix the product up, the MusclEAA with water, first shake it, and then carbonate it. Whereas with the one that they sell in Canada here, the Canadian Tire version, you have to carbonate and then mix. And it doesn't always blend so well when you're doing that. It's just harder to mix it once it's already carbonated. So I prefer the MusclEAAs, just sipping on it throughout the day as a carbonated drink.
That's a cool tip. I like that.
Yeah,
now, in terms of these muscle tears, I see a pattern here. We got torn rotator cuffs, we got torn quads. You know what? You're still keeping it hardcore, and that's if you're tearing muscles. That's sometimes a sign that you're still going as hard as you used to. So that's
well, I wish I could say I was squatting 600 in the gym, but it was the slip on ice that did it. So at least Evan Centopani and myself have something in common.
And Branch Warren, I think he.
He slipped too. Yeah.
Okay, so now we talk a lot about leucine, isoleucine, valine. people at home, leucine has got obviously properties of building muscle, but it's also involved in wound healing and blood sugar regulation, hemoglobin production, so transporting oxygen to working muscles. Leucine's got all kinds of factors there. There's 3 grams inside MusclEAA of the leucine, so I'm really happy to see that. Isoleucine, obviously is energy regulation. They got 600 milligrams of here. Immune function as well. A lot of things people don't realize isoleucine is involved in immunity, which now with COVID and everything else like that, who knew that BCAAs could actually support a healthy immune system? So that's kind of cool to see that. Valine, stimulating growth, of course, all the BCAAs do that, and is involved in energy production. So then they got 600 milligrams. What's really important always when you're looking at BCAA is try to find one with isoleucine and valine at a 1-to-1 ratio. And then the leucine, obviously, you want to have as high of a level as you can up to a point. But, you know, obviously, you have to balance that with the other amino acids that are here. And what I like about MusclEAA is they didn't just arbitrarily put the 9 amino acids at whatever level that they wanted to. There was some thought put into how each of these amino acids balances to each other and their body's needs. And the tryptophan example that I gave earlier, they actually only have 50 milligrams of tryptophan in here, because if you have too much tryptophan, you can actually feel tired from taking this. So it wasn't just arbitrarily arrived at. So glad to see that. Now,
getting back to the ratios there too, Scott, I don't mean to interrupt, but standard in the industry is a 2-to-1-to-1. I think that's what all the studies were done on. So the leucine to isoleucine to valine, so 2-to-1-to-1. Allmax, now I've seen them as high as 10-to-1-to-1, and I think that's a little bit overkill. But Allmax has kind of done a good compromise, and it just really ensure that you're going to get the best bang for your buck. Theirs is a 5-to-1-to-1 ratio. So
yeah. Now, going through the other 6 essential amino acids, you have phenylalanine. You see this a lot on labels. This is a precursor to the neurotransmitters like tyrosine, dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine. So that's why it's great for these kind of reasons to help increase the mental focus and clarity. And a lot of people are really big into that. Also with post-contest dieting and things like that, a lot of people screw up their endorphins and all of their serotonin, dopamine, all these different neurotransmitters, these feel-good hormones. So it's important that these kind of essential amino acids provide precursors to these ingredients in your body, these substances in your body. Threonine was involved in collagen. So this is actually interesting because collagen is very hot in your store. I'm sure you guys sell a lot of collagen, obviously for the skin and the hair and all of those different properties to it. It's also found widely in protein bars. It provides a lot of the softness that you see. You'll see it under gelatin or collagen, the different names that they'll see coming out with that. But what's great is that the tryptophan is actually a precursor threonine is a precursor to collagen, and is involved in actually immune system function as well, and fat metabolism. Methionine, detoxification is involved in tissue growth, as all the EAAs are. But what's also interesting is it's involved in helping the absorption of zinc and selenium. And zinc is very important for testosterone function, and selenium is really important for insulin function and blood sugar stabilization. So really interesting. And they've got 300 milligrams of methionine. 2 more. Lysine, we got that protein synthesis, collagen formation. There's also enzyme and hormone function. So they've got 1,250 milligrams of that. So it's a very high dose of lysine, but that's actually involved in sleep-wake cycles, sexual function. Who knew that it's involved in actual sex drive? This one EAA is, but that's absolutely how it goes. Histidine is a precursor to helping produce histamine, which is a neurotransmitter involved in immune response. So wide assortment of benefits for the EAAs. But let's get into Allmax themselves, because you've been dealing with them before you got involved in Supplement Source to now. They're obviously one of your best-selling product lines. Tell me a bit about Allmax and what people at home may not know.
Well, I think everyone should know, or maybe they don't. In Canada, Allmax is easily Canada's #1 supplement brand. They do cover a lot of bases. I don't really think they're lacking anything. They branched out recently with their collagen, which you would never think you really see that from a sports supplement company. But they do it, and it's actually a very good seller for us. Like I said too, they've come out with the MusclEAA. So I think they've really, I don't want to say stepped up their game because they are at the top of the game, but they've raised the bar for a lot of other companies to follow in Canada. And I think they do very well worldwide too. I'm not 100% sure how they do outside, but I just can't see them faltering outside Canada just because, like I said, they're number one in Canada. Our sales are through the roof and they're always increasing. It's never a dip in sales from those guys. And quality products. Like, you know, what I like is it's a cautious, cutting edge approach to formulating products. So they're not the guys that jump on the bandwagon with the flavor of the month supplement. And you know, it's gone in a couple of months. They watch the trends, they watch the market, they follow the research, and from there they make the products that that Canadians know and love. Their innovative approach is another thing I'd written down. We talked about it last time when we spoke about meal prep. I really like their scoop lock technology.
Yeah.
You know, and the crazy thing about it too is you just don't realize how much you just throw that scoop into the bottle. You got to remember, oh, I can put it on the top now, and then I won't be searching for it later. And it's like almost like a habit you got to break. So I like that they're looking outside the box. You know, they're not just looking at the formulas themselves, but they're looking for an all-encompassing product that really, really sets itself apart from the other competition. Flavoring system, it's phenomenal. Like, you know, great. I haven't heard anyone say, oh, I don't like the taste of this Allmax product. Like, they really hit it out of the park with those ones. Transparent formulas, they're moving to that. You're really not going to see that proprietary blend stuff anymore. Like, a lot of companies have gone that route. Allmax is certainly leading the way in that. And I think you're going to mention it later, but a lot of their products have moved to informed choice.
Yeah.
And for us, it's a huge category to have that drug-free certification on there because we deal with a lot of youth hockey players. We deal with a lot of college football players. These are the guys that want the drug-free products, and you know, the informed choice that Allmax has chosen to work with and ensure their products are safe and drug-free. It's the way to go.
Great. You know what? You mentioned global. These guys, I mean, it's hard to understand. You go in the United States, you see them all over the place.
Yeah.
You go to Canada, you can't really go to a store and see them. And they have different products for different consumers. So you may see a mainstream consumer at a mainstream channel with a product like that. Then you can see a serious, you know, supplement consumer who wants the best in performance going to SupplementSource.ca and seeing a wide selection of these products. But I've been all over the world and seen these products. I've been to Malaysia and seen them there. I've seen them over in England, all over England. They're huge in England. Big in Germany, all through Germany. I went to Malaysia, saw them there. I saw them, where the hell was I? Oh yeah, I was over the border in China. Okay. Oh, I was in Macau, which is an island that's a lot like Vegas. That's in just near Hong Kong. Saw them all through Hong Kong. Then I saw them in Macau. Then I went over the border into mainland China. Saw them everywhere. I saw stores that had aquariums with like literally turtles inside these stores. And you see so many supplements there because this is a very different world. And then you see Allmax in China, man, huge, huge, huge. And it just speaks volumes. So what's kind of cool about this is when you see Isoflex, you're used to seeing it at home, and then you can go there and like, oh, it's here too. But a lot of times we in Canada or United States, we think, oh yeah, you know, this is a brand here. I saw them at the Olympia. I went to the Toronto Pro Show and I got the autograph of Steve Kuklo. He was there. I got my Isoflex or my A-Cuts sample. You don't know, there's people all over the world using A-Cuts and Isoflex and these kind of brands. So I don't know.
Quality speaks for itself, and that's what people want, right? They want good products, and Allmax delivers. And you know, while you were talking about that, I just got thinking, like, every Instagram post that I see that is like inside a supplement store, there's always Allmax on the shelf. Always. Like, it's crazy. And you would never think that from a Canadian brand. You know, well, they're number one in Canada, so obviously other countries are going to take notice.
Yeah. This is something for the people at home. Allmax is the #1 selling Canadian-owned supplement company. Yeah. That's hard to believe because people just think of them as just Canadian, but these guys are massive. But anyway, you mentioned Scoop Lock. obviously very cool technology. One of the things you want to do with any supplement is you want to shake it, seal it and shake it. And the reason you want to do that with your protein or your gainer or your EAA product is you want to make sure that the precipitation of the ingredients, the formulas have different densities. Each ingredient has different density. So it's going to sink to the bottom more at different levels depending on how heavy some of the substances are. So to get a uniform consistency of your product, you want to shake it up and then serve it. So in this case, take the scoop out, set it down, shake it up, re-scoop it. But really good and very important in pre-workouts, if you want to have your caffeine anhydrous will sit at a different level than your beta-alanine. So if you're wondering why, hey, my last scoop of it burns my body or something like that, burns my throat in maybe your pre-workout, it could be because you weren't shaking it throughout the use. And these things settle. When they're shipping, they're settling, they're vibrating inside trucks. So the density, it gets shoved down to the bottom. So anyway, enough about that. Let's go to the specs, obviously, here. We've got 7 grams of EAAs. Can you run through the specs for the people at home?
Sure. We have 7 grams of EAAs per serving, of which then there's 4.2 grams of branched-chain amino acids. You're looking at 30 servings for one of those containers. Right now, Supplement Source, I guess the manufacturer suggests a retail price of around $44.99. At Supplement Source, because we're doing the little video here, we're going to have a little, okay, we're going to do that later. We'll say that later. But anyways, regular price $44.95. Don't tell Allmax. We're going to let it go $33.97. So that works out to just over $1.10-ish or so per serving. So I'll get that up on SupplementSource.ca. I'll get up on the site as soon as the video's over. Throw it on the homepage slider so people can, they're kind of going to see it. And when we send our flyer out tomorrow, it'll be the feature product. But yeah, so we'll put it on sale. We'll let it run for a little bit until I get in trouble, and I'm told to take it off sale. But yeah, let's drive some sales there and get everyone to try it at least, because I think once they try it and they see the results, the BCAAs are going to set those aside, and they're going to be moving more towards the EAAs because it's only logical, right? So
yeah, I really like using a BCAA either pre-workout or during workout. But if I'm using a BCAA, like say it's amino core, I'll take that 1 serving before I work out. I may scoop another serving during while I'm sipping on that, and then post-workout I'll use the EAA, or I'll swap that and I'll go pre-workout, I'll go BCAA, then I'll go obviously MusclEAA during workout, and then post-workout I'll take another serving, and I do that with carbohydrates. Some of the great carbs, there's tons of great carb sources out there. If you're on a keto diet, then obviously you're not going to want to do that. But if you're on a keto diet, you're going to want to increase the consumption a little bit more of the EAAs because you don't have the carbohydrates to spare the use of the protein, of the amino acids. And a lot of people don't realize that amino acids themselves can be used to fuel your metabolism as is. So a lot of people think, oh, it has to convert to a carbohydrate. As is, an amino acid, essential amino acid can be used in the Krebs cycle and can produce ATP. So it's, if you're on a low carb diet, you want to increase your EAA consumption. Okay, so now going through the flavors here, 2 flavors here, very creative. The candy keys is like those candies that you and I used to eat before we got into bodybuilding, but now we just eat it, but we don't tell anybody that we eat it.
Exactly, yeah.
Or we pull a Cristacito and we have it right after our workout.
And then
this is the blue shark. That's the not the baby shark. I got my son's baby shark tunes going in my head here. We got the blue shark, kind of cool. Reminds me of the Sharknado movie. Okay, so going through this now,
you do know that's the official drink of Shark Week, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go, buddy.
Yes, I like it. Okay, look, are we going to which one are we going to put to the test first? Taste test.
Well, we could do, I've already got the blue shark mixed up, but I haven't mixed the candy keys yet. We could do that one first.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to use Big Bertha here.
Oh, the Big Bertha. Nice. I like it.
Big Bertha is going to be animated. There. You see it here. Now, 500 milliliters, you've got to mix it with it. Now, one thing for people at home, don't eyeball it. Don't just think, okay, I'm going to just drink about this much. The reason why is the supplement companies, when they're flavoring these products, they increase the doses or decrease the level of water relative to the best possible flavor effect. So if they say 500 milliliters, don't go 400 or 420 and then say, oh, it was too sweet. Or, you know, just eyeball it and put a liter in with your shaker cup because you're going to drink it while you work out, and then say, well, I didn't find it was really that flavorful. They've made a specific adjustment of the concentration to mix with this much water to achieve this particular taste effect. So anyway, there's my lecture for you guys at home who eyeball it. Oh, you gonna dry scoop it?
No, I'm gonna mix it right now. Oh, there's my 9.32 grams.
There you go.
Serving of Candy Keys MusclEAA, and I'm gonna mix it up now. It does mix very well, actually. Like, it's not, you'd be pretty hard pressed to find a clumpy amino acid product. I'd be pretty surprised, but who knows, right? But Allmax has done a good job with this one.
Okay.
Smells good. Pass the smell test.
Okay, well, I got to get my my Candy Keys ready here. Okay, hang on. I got to do a live so that people can see this powder drop in and see how easy it mixes. So let me go there, sideways.
Oh, you got a clear one. Nice. Yes, nice.
Boom.
Yeah.
See it dropping there. All right. Okay. So let me just shake this up. Okay. Reminds me of Impact Igniter, the same color, a fruit punch type color. The Impact Igniter and Amino Core. I think they have a fruit punch flavor. Reminds me of this. Okay, so are we going blue sharks first?
Or Candy Keys. Candy Keys.
Okay, let's go. All right.
Well, we gotta go. Move your thing to the side. So go click. Toast, toast, toast.
No floaties, no nothing. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's good.
It's good. It's good, yeah.
Really good, yeah.
It's nice and smooth. I like that.
I like that, totally.
Doesn't leave an aftertaste, which is nice.
Really good. I taste that Candy Keys kind of flavor. Like a fruit punch Candy Keys. The color is cool. I like the color. Looks good. I mean, it's EAAs, but when you're dieting, you obviously want to enjoy the hydration, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're dieting, everything's going to taste good. So, like, this is going to be even, you know, taste bud overwhelm.
Yeah. And it's not too sweet. I don't taste like it's like a real Candy Key where you're like, you know, it tastes really good. Delish.
That's why I like an intro workout. It's not overpowering. Like, you know, you're not sitting there like, oh, okay, I just had too much of it. I'm going to have to go to the water fountain now to, you know, chase it down.
Yeah.
Kind of good in that sense. It's light, but it's strong enough. So.
Okay. All right. Now, the other one, obviously, Blue Shark. I want to say Blue Sharks with an S, but Blue Shark. Just thinking of more Blue Sharks.
Oh, yeah, Blue Shark, yeah.
Smell, always good smell. Smells good. Smells like shark candy.
Yeah. I like this one
better. I like this one better. For me.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, that's really good. Wow. That's actually really good. And they didn't take a shortcut. You know, some of these companies, they have a blue raspberry that they just call it Blue Shark. This actually tastes like those Blue Sharks. This is
yeah. How many variations of chocolate have you seen? And it's always the same chocolate, you know?
Chocolate Supreme.
Yeah, chocolate explosion. You know, it's always just the one flavor chocolate. But yeah, no, Allmax they actually, you know, worked on a good flavoring system there.
Now you touched on something earlier that I noticed on the back of their label. If we really see, informed choice. So informed choice tests for over 200 banned substances, and although you know, at Muscle Insider, you know, we're sort of full throttle when we realize that competitors and things use performance enhancing drugs. And we don't have a problem with that. That's the nature of all professional sports, have some of that in it. But what I like about Allmax's products being informed choice tested is it shows that you know what is in the product is in the product, what's not in the product is not in the product. So you don't find things like SARMs and things like that you know that could end up in supplements because of cross-contamination. At least you know that this product's been screened so that you're not going to have any athletes, collegiate athletes, NCAA or anything like that are taking this supplement and then you know, getting a positive test for performance enhancing drug. But it also lets me realize that they take quality control serious enough to get a third-party independent company to lab test this, and that says a lot. It costs more to do that. But
yeah, I was going to say, it's not cheap.
like that. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so going through this, another thing that's in here. Now, this we should have touched on a little bit earlier, but Mediator PA. So this is a phosphatidic acid, is an ingredient in here, 400 milligrams of that. And this is actually added there to help you build more muscle. So there's actually 2 clinical studies on this ingredient. One test subject gained 12.7 pounds, or sort of 12.7% increase on the squat, and 2.6% increase in lean body mass. A separate study, so this is 2 studies, separate study found that people gained twice as much muscle when they consumed phosphatidic acid than those who didn't, and actually reduced body fat. So what I like about what Allmax did is they didn't take the approach that I've seen other companies do where they just say, okay, BCAAs are 3, let's add 6 more so that we've got all 9. They actually figured out what ratios to have together, and they added these 2 other ingredients to it, which I'm going to get on the second one in a second, but they added this extra ingredient here to build more muscle, increasing protein synthesis. And it makes sense if you provide the precursor to building muscle, which are EAAs, with something that increases mTOR and increases the anabolism from your training, then you're going to get even better results from this EAA than just a regular EAA. So now the last ingredient in here, the second ingredient, which is, they put 400 milligrams of something. Now bear with me on the pronunciation, but it's Selaginella.
Yeah.
Tamaricina. I can't say it better than that, but
yeah, that's about as good as I can say it too.
It sounds like salmonella or something, but it's Selaginella tamaricina, and this actually is involved in increasing nitric oxide and improving blood flow because it is a phosphodiesterase inhibitor. Phosphodiesterase inhibitors help blunt the enzymes that are involved in constricting your blood vessels. So if you're drinking this pre-workout or during workout, the idea here is you're helping to increase blood flow. And if you can increase blood flow, as Milo Sarcev talked about with having anabolic blood, when you're training, you're increasing blood flow to the muscle. That's going to allow you to deliver the essential amino acids to the working muscle, which is going to help recover it during post-training. So kind of cool. So don't just look at price when it comes to this product. You talked about each serving being, was it $1.13 a serving?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
But you got to look at, this isn't just an EAA. This is actually an EAA plus 2 other ingredients that are going to make it even better than just an EAA. You're going to get better results from this. So kind of cool. But anyway, I'm going to shut up for a bit, but let me tag you in on what are your thoughts still on MusclEAA?
Well, you know, typically I always have a little surprise for you at the end of these. So I'm sure you're aware, and everyone else is aware of the trend in branch chains when they first came out. It was just straight branch chain. And what they did after that was they added an energy component. So they would go with a caffeine or something like that. So what I've been personally doing is, let me get the right flavor here. I take my Blue Shark, MusclEAA, and I combine it with my Blue Raspberry.
With A cuts.
With A cuts, yeah. So I'm getting a little bit extra aminos in there, but I'm also getting the energy component. And I think you're probably going to see that trend continue into the EAA market because it was so popular with the branch chains. I think it's died off a little bit because people just, some people want the energy or they're just going to get that from their pre-workout, but there is still a market for it, and I like it. So when we talked earlier on your non-training days, like I need my caffeine to get going in the morning. Like that's just who I am. And what I do is, like I said, I'll mix my branch chains or my muscle EAAs with my A cuts, and I'm going to get a nice sustained release of energy, and I'm getting my aminos. I think you may see that in the future as a future formula. I don't know. Who knows? But that's just the trend of the industry with the BCA. So it's only logical to assume that someone's going to come out at some point in time with energy boosted EAA formula. I think that's really, those are kind of like that's the little final thoughts. I just, right now I said, we've got it. We're going to have it on sale shortly. SupplementSource.ca. If you haven't been there before, check us out. We are the king of clearance in Canada. So we have not only blowout products at really unbelievable prices, but we're going to have all the new products too that you see, like muscle EAAs, meal prep, anything that comes to market. We like to carry, and we try to get in there. We don't always get it in there, but most of the time we do carry the products that everyone wants.
Now, how many different supplements do you guys have? Did anybody ever do a count of how many? Because I have not been to any other website where I've seen such variety as what I see with what you guys are doing. And you see things you're like, what? This is like, where did you get this sort of thing? Because I mean, you and your wife are always on the hunt for these new things. And I always call them up and I'm like, hey, Dan, what's the newest pre-workout? What's the newest EAA? Hey, did you hear about Allmax? Allmax has got something coming, man. I got you always have that scoop. So how many different products do you have on that website?
Oh, we just did inventory too last week, and I probably should know the answer to this, but well over 1,000, lots. We're pretty open. Like if you want to sell on our site, come on over. We'll put you on and we'll give you a trial. And if it goes well, we'll load up. But yeah, we want options for our customers. We just don't want to steer to the top 10 products, and that does good. Don't get me wrong, but there's always triers and buyers. And if you have the latest and greatest thing, there's always going to be a market for the guy that wants to try. I married a woman. That's what she is. She wants to try the latest and greatest. She wants to see what the new bars taste like, the latest protein powder. She wants to try it. So there's always a market for that. And that's who we want to, that's who we want to reach out to and service. We want to be the guy to go to, not only for blowouts and clearance, but also for new products and innovative products. So stuff that's going to really, affect the way that people train and affect the way they look. We just want people to have a positive experience with us, and which obviously is going to go to a positive experience in the gym.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? And I was really glad that I see anytime I see Allmax come up with a new product, I see it very quickly. I see it on SupplementSource.ca. And for years I was using Amino Core. I've done reviews for the product for so long. A cuts, obviously, I think single-handedly is one of the best tasting powder drink mixes, I think, of anything that you can drink. I would drink that over Crystal Light. I would drink that over Kool-Aid, sugar-free Kool-Aid. You can just drink that stuff and just enjoy the hydration, and you drink more and more of it because it's so delicious to drink it. And but I was glad that Allmax didn't sit on the laurel of Amino Core's success, because it's a huge product, and they say, the EAA market's starting. No. Let's not get in it. They sat silent. They didn't advertise that they were doing it. Behind the scenes, they came out with this EAA product. And what was so wild is, if you look back, is Muscle EAA launched globally. Boom. Everywhere. You saw it in the States. You saw it in Canada within a few weeks of each other. And I like that, because now it shows me that they were thinking about this a year to a year and a half out, following this, perfecting it. They come out strong with it. And I was glad that they had both offerings, because Amino Core is a solid product. It's great, has a great following, great formula. But this one is obviously, now the EAA is a little bit more expensive, because you're getting more, as you said, you're getting 6 other amino acids in here to complete the 9. You're getting the total 9, the spectrum of 9. You're getting 2 additional ingredients to help anabolism. And I think having both options is great. I like how you stacked A cuts and MusclEAA. And no, I think they definitely hit it out of the field with this product. And I definitely think they've got a winner for sure. I still can't stop drinking this Blue Shark though.
I'll have my carbonated version right there.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm gonna try that one. Is that your carbonator? Let's see this thing work. That's carbonated.
It's just like a normal. I don't know if you can see the bubbles or not in it. Oh yeah.
All right, I like it.
I'll shake it up a little bit. You'll hear it when it. Hopefully it doesn't overflow. But... Well, I caught in time. Buddy.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just sip on that during the day. But yeah, great. MusclEAA, you can't go wrong. And like you said, let's face it, you can't budget bodybuild. That's just the way it is.
I find BCAAs too have been a bit commoditized. Like they're just there, and they're there. But if you need 9, then what about the other 6? And if you're under extreme dieting, then you really don't want to be losing any muscle mass. And a lot of people just sip BCAAs to be able to keep themselves anabolic. But if you're shortchanging yourself by not having some of the other essential amino acids that are needed, then pay a little bit extra money, get that product, and you can obviously have it. If you're on a tight budget, there's products that are more economical, amino cores for people who just want BCAAs, and there's a few other amino acids in there. But I think that for those who want the maximum amount of protein synthesis, growth from their workout and recovery, then MusclEAA is definitely a top-notch product from a top-notch company. So
certainly the way to go, yeah.
So anyways, the fans should be going to allmaxnutrition.com if they want to learn more from Allmax. Obviously checking out muscleinsider.com. And if they're buying products, SupplementSource.ca. And let us know what the handle is. It at SupplementSource.ca? Is that the handle that they should
check? Oh my Lord. You ask me this every time we do this, Scott, and I can never remember. Hold on, let me pull it up here.
I already got it. There you go, man. SupplementSource.ca is what you guys got to be checking out on Instagram. You guys also have a YouTube channel that we're checking out. What I like about Supplement Source is some of the fastest delivery you can get in supplements in Canada. Best selection, phenomenal pricing, great deals. I get the email blasts. So it's a very, very good selection. Some of the deals are insane. I can't tell you how many times I forwarded that email to friends of mine. Like, hey, here's the inside scoop. But
and safe shipping too. Like we follow, like we're totally, COVID compliant in the warehouse. Let me tell you, we spend a lot of money on that. So the guys can be certainly, the customers can be certainly assured that they're going to get a safe product. Like there's not going to be any issues with it or anything like that, and they'll get it quickly, like you said, which is great.
Okay, so listen, overall, Scott Welch from Muscle Insider, Dan Kennedy, Supplement Source. Are we going to give it like 2 thumbs up? The Siskel and Ebert, kind of like.
Oh yeah, easily.
Okay, 2 thumbs up is exactly what it was. Okay,
yeah.
Thanks for checking out this review, and check out the products got them for a great price at SupplementSource.ca. Thanks again to everybody for checking this out.